Project Brotherhood is a health clinic focused on using community outreach and preventative education to meet the needs and improve the health of African American men on the south side of Chicago. Let's listen to some of the life experiences of members of Project Brotherhood. What do you know about jail?
Because I used to go to jail all the time and prison. And then I found out that, hey, I don't like being inside the jails and the bars. And I know that I have said that I had to have an education. I had to have a power greater than myself foundation to stay out of here. And that's what I did. I started going to church and I was beginning to break that cycle. And I was glad that I did. I got tired of going in and out of prison. You know, and I saw myself not getting nothing, not achieving nothing, not even having to come out here and getting a job, or even applying for employment. I would come out here and go right back to using drugs and alcohol. And I seen that wasn't the path to go. And I stopped that through the power of greater than myself, took that desire from me, and I had a desire to get an education, get a job, get a place of my own to stay, and live my life with them things in my life that I never had or never attempted to try and get. So God broke that cycle, and I was glad that he broke that cycle for me.
Smuggling beef, so I ended up going to jail. And jail is hell. The beautiful part about jail is you find out just what the society cares about you, which is nothing. And you never experience what's to this society unless you've been in jail.
I don't know what the penitentiary I've been to the county for. It's not nice. I mean, you know, you're being told what to do. I was there for 37 days, as long as I was ever there, and it's a nightmare. You're locked in a cell for 18 hours, and you're out 6, and every 3 hours. I mean, you know, it's in increments of 3 hours. So you're out 3 hours, and then another group comes out, and then you go in, and then when they come in, you go out. You're never out at the same time. It's lonely. You have to use the bathroom with another dude in the room with you. Because, you know, it's not like you can walk outside and go to the public restroom or something like that. You have a bathroom in your cell, or a toilet in your cell. It's cold. It's not the most sanitary place you want to be.
Like I said, I just got through doing 17 years and 9 months in prison. I wouldn't wish it on nobody. You know, the first almost 7 years was, people say the word hell, but I don't know if that was it, but it probably was close. You know, because I went from Pontiac to Stateville to Menard, you know, and then once I got somewhere else, you know, they kind of shut it down. But up until that time, it was like you could hear noise night and day. That was cool. If it ever got quiet, you better put your back up against the wall or hit the floor, because somebody's going to die. It was just that simple. Life was just so meaningless. I mean, I done seen death all my life, but the kind of death I seen when I was in there, it was just, man, I don't even know how to describe it. It was, well, wasteful is one word. You know, on both sides. You know, the inmates and the guards. You know, that's just like, I look at it just like out here, where these guys killing each other talking about, well, this is ours and this is ours. If you're not paying taxes on it, you ain't got the paper on it, it's not yours. You know, and when I was in prison, especially behind the walls, different gangs was claiming different cells and killing people over them. You know, this up to a certain point is ours, and this down to here is yours, and this is the Latinos. And if you invade on this, we kill you, you know, and I've seen people burnt alive in the cell. I ain't never been in a gang, and I was in there with a guy, and they came to us one day and they said, well, we want our cell. I'm like this, I'm not gonna die with something that don't belong to neither one of us. You want this cell? I'll pack my little stuff and I'll move. My cellie, he was a big dude. He's about 6'8", 6'9", about 3-something. Lift all iron in the gym. You can't beat a mob, you know. They burnt the cell up. I come back one day, smoking flames, shooting out the cell. The bed looked like somebody had twisted it. They had just fried the whole thing to a crisp. You know, when the lieutenant looked at me and he said, are you going back in there? I said, what? Going back in there? I said, well, where did my cellie go? He said, he went to PC. I said, well, that's where I'm going. He said, you sure? I said, sure. I said, it don't take nothing away from me because I'm going there. I said, I'm not going to let nobody kill me over something that even you can't control. You say this is theirs, and you let them do this, and you expect me to go back in there once you get it cleaned up? I ain't going. You know, it was just, it's rough. And that's a good example. That's just a good example. I seen guys get killed over a bad thought. Candy bar. Cigarette. Pair of shoes that belong to somebody else. Just waste.
What I did when I got out was just not, I tried not to, you know, go back really, you know what I'm saying? I really didn't change right then and there. But to change your thinking, somebody's told me before, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So I just changed the way I looked at things, and you know, everybody wasn't out to get me. It wasn't the white man, it wasn't the yellow man, it wasn't anybody but, you know, it wasn't the society or the neighbor. I just made bad choices. And that's one thing I think, if we coming out and not blaming people for what we went in jail, you know, take ownership of it, I think that's a start.